And I'm back again. Ta-da! More towel. Let's move this. There we go. Ow! Good stuff. Maybe a little bit too watery to start off with. So these are actually one of my favourite units in the Tau army. Not a lot of people take them, but I have always been a big fan of the sniper units. I love this idea that you'd have these controllers just sat hidden away in a building, and you just have these drones flying, like zipping through buildings, and kind of like nowadays with actual drone pilots, like just like absolutely darting through the buildings. So yeah, I've always just liked how they work, essentially. Like I say, a lot of people don't like drone controllers, but I've always been a big fan of just how kind of unique a unit they are. And they're not the best unit on the table, by all means, for Tau. But there's just something about them. I think we need a bit of null oil in there. And that little gap. This one. No, I don't need that one actually. Probably better do this anyway. So I actually Similar to my stealth suits, I have quite a few of these in my army normally. So you can see there's 4 drones here, but I will normally be taking a lot more than 4 on the battlefield, as they can be quite annoying, and because they have a rep being a crap unit, a lot of people ignore them, and that makes it really handy for having a survival unit, because they do start to make their effect as they go along. Okay, that's the blue. So something with my army is that all the base colours, so to give a breakdown, you'll have what used to be hawk turquoise is now Sotek green, highlighted with the age-old Temple Guard blue. Then for any of my armour, Dawnstone hit all over for the heavy armour. And then the darker armour pieces like this, you would find Ashen Grey. And then underneath all of that is the Delight, which is Skaven Black Dinge, washed down with a Norn oil. So these areas here, which I didn't realise this brush is wet, are all Skaven Black Dinge. Then Ashen Grey, Thornstone, Hawk Turquoise, which is now Sotek Green, then the Temple Guard Blue, and then what I do is I highlight using Administration Grey, because Administration Grey is the perfect little highlight for a Dawnstone colour. So as I mentioned, this is mainly what I'm going to be doing today, is working on just sprucing up some of my old units, which I love to use. And also going back over, just applying battle damage, anything like that. So there's a problem though, I find, with the Administration Grey, is it can look great and then it can look really, really bad. And it can just suddenly start to lose its ability to stand out. Right. Oh man. Just notice a little bit of turquoise back from the day. Just sitting. There we go. A little bit more there. There we go. Clean as a whistle. Oh, I did not just headbutt the phone. As you see, there's a lot of paint on the brush. One problem with having your army on a shelf for so long is that the dust starts to collect. Hopefully that focuses. one, top one's gonna go. I think. Easily done when you've got just dawn stain to cover over it. Yeah, it doesn't look that realistic on that side. It looks better on that side than it does that side. The thing about Warhammer is it's got its own magic eraser tool. You're not happy with something? You can just paint over. Start again. Let's bring the camera down. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hello to one of the first visitors of the night. State your name and I'll say hello. Don't worry about a thing. Plan with this army was always to keep the colour schemes quite muted and then have the turquoise as the kind of accentuating colour and kind of the spot colour on all of them. So one thing you will find with most of my tau is that they are quite basic when it comes to their armour colour, like they were meant to be the kind of funny ironic as the grey plastic army, but it ended up being colour that I really liked, so I just stuck with it. But yeah, it's nice to get back into the painting, to be honest, and kind of give myself purpose to painting again. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I love the idea that when my son's older, he'll want to pick up painting and maybe hopefully not get as invested as his dad. But I would like him to take a little vein of interest into the whole situation. Because it'd be nice. Just having that connection with your son and something like that. Something you're really passionate about in the hobby. I think that's enough for the moment on the drone controller that I want to do. But yeah, add a little bit of damage. You probably won't get a lot of damage on these guys because these guys are meant to be at the back. Whereas on the other hand, drones quite tantamount to pain. Especially as mine have learnt in the past because I always pushed them too far up. So these models have been on the shelf for quite a while, so normally what I'll do is I picked up a really nice cheap set of makeup brushes when it was Christmas, and I got like, I think it was like a set of 12 for like £9 because I got them after Christmas. But they've always just been really good and served me well because they allow me to just really clean up the models really quickly. Like, I have 6 or 7 shelves armies full of models, and I don't get that much time to clean them up. So normally what I'm doing now is when I paint, I'm cleaning, and I paint, I clean. Just to kind of get myself keeping the table, or keeping the shelves nice and tidy. The only problem is that it's hard to do that when you have 7 other armies. So you can see here, this is actually a drone controller, which I was working on back in the day, and you can see the infinite difference already with these two. Again, like I say, drone controllers. Oh yeah, that was something I did with this one. So on the normal drone controller, you get this. To differentiate them, I gave them a little bit more difference. I think what I might do is start adding squad markings, but I've got to figure out what I want to do for them, because actually, you know what? Let's try it with this guy. Let's try it with this guy here. I think something down here maybe could do quite good. Maybe a line there with the turquoise. Now, this is where I'm going to try and get smart with myself. Hopefully paint a straight line. I may have gone a little bit too deep. Maybe a silly maneuver. The line is just getting chunkier. I'm not sure I did the right thing. I maybe went a little bit too chunky the first bit. I also noticed I went onto the administrative grey. Again though, it's Warhammer, so you just paint over. So yeah, I've done that first line way too thick. But I can always, as mentioned, cut back. Hopefully. Actually kind of saved it. Another coat. And people will be rolling if they see how I paint, I feel. Not the most orthodox method of painting. You can probably tell by how I hold a brush. It's not the cleanest brush etiquette. But it's how I've always held my paintbrush. It's insane really, because that gives me no control, but I still find myself doing it. Yeah, I think that'll be enough for him. I think the marking probably gives a little something, but I think I don't know whether or not I want to do the markings not in the turquoise and do them in a white. Really distinct kind of like, so it matches this. So that next time you see this, probably after this little stream, that may be gone. So we'll see. Next up, we're going to go to a sniper drone. Hello, watcher, by the way. Say hi and say your name, and I'll happily give you a hello, howdy doody. Actually, you know what? Take a step away from sniper drone for the moment. We've got a few of them to work with, so it's fine. Oh, 2 people. Hello to both of you. Like I say, don't forget to say your name and welcome to the chat. I'll just all go away. It's funny, really, because years ago when I first started this channel, I really took on a cheek when videos didn't get hits and stuff like that, and it was crap. But you don't need to worry about that. Like, you can just enjoy yourself when you paint. Simple as. Just talking to people is just an added bonus whilst you paint. And I've met some fantastic people over the years through the painting and the hobby. So I've always enjoyed the communication side of it. So just being able to chat to people, it's just a nice added bonus. Like I say, I don't care if no one's here. I can talk. It's not stopping anybody. I'm not hurting anybody. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be back in the hobby again. Last stream, I had a really nice guy talking to me, and that was nice. Obviously, I know right now I'm talking to myself and hoping that one person will get 33 minutes into a video. I'm amazed no one ever asks me about how I hold a brush, because it's genuinely insane. Like I say, this is the thing, like, I hold my brush this way. Always have done. Always will. I don't know why. I know when I was a kid, I used to drive my handwriting teachers insane because they could never understand why I held it this way. And when I did, it's always how I wrote. So it kind of drove them insane because no one could figure out how to stop me from doing it. So they just left me with it, and through the years of school and everything like that, I carried on writing in this godforsaken way, and yeah, it's stuck with me really. There we go. So actually after the stream I started working on this. And yeah, I got a little bit into it. Not very far though. You can kind of see where the gun's going, and the plan is to have this in the Eshin, this in the Eshin. Quite strong, contrasting colours, really. There's the Eshin. I realise the start of my stream will probably put people off after initially watching it, as I did not say a word for about 20-30 minutes. But again, like I said before, I'm not here to win the views of the people. I am here to paint. And I just want to paint. Simple as. I just want to paint, but I want to share it with people. It's quite sad, really, because I've loved this hobby for years. And I don't know why, but when I moved up to where I live now, I made friends, and I played lots of games, and obviously COVID happened and times got hard. I stopped, and I lost all my links to the hobby, really. Like I say, I became a dad, so I had to realise that I had to prioritise something else other than myself when it comes to what I enjoy doing. And yeah, I'm very happy in the decision I made, because I love my son to bits. But I still need my hobby. And this is my little hour session, should I say, where my hobby gets to be my focus. So a few nights, maybe one night I'll play on the Xbox and be found into the early hours on Apex Legends or Rocket League. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I think as well, I kind of stopped the hobby because, as well as the social media, it's a tough one. It's a very pressurized thing. Like I see people doing the content, and they do it daily, or they try and get like 2 videos out a week. And I used to try that, and I was really chuffed with what my channel was achieving, but it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. And again, this is the thing. Do the things you enjoy, but don't butcher them to death by feeling that you have to make it a job. Like, I have had this channel for years, and I never intended or planned to be making the dollar and rolling in it, and I just did the channel because I wanted to do it. It was a fun project. But yeah, and I mean, for me, the channel boomed when I did the typhus conversion, and since that day, it's always been that kind of thing, which was sad on. That actually had a lot of weight on me, because this video exploded. It was insane. I didn't know how to tackle it, because I felt that in my body and my head I needed to continue to make content to try and rival this thousands of views video, and I don't know why I felt that I needed to do that, and why I justify overworking myself on the channel. I would try and get content out every week just to get, kind of just appease myself, really, and kind of answer myself of why am I doing this. And in the end, I just went, no, I'm done. I can't be asked. So the channel went dead. Like I say, I rebranded from Mr. Cragum Gaming into He Who Geeks. And ironically, when I did that, I also stopped the channel. And kind of happy I did at least get the He Who Geeks out there. Yeah, like I have an Instagram, I have my TikTok, I have everything when it comes to social. I just don't always feel like I need to use them now. And again, I'm not complaining with that because it's a nice, enjoyable feeling just to not overthink things. Not try and push content out every 2 days. Not feel the need to push myself to the limit, really. Just do this with not that brush, because that's a brush which I can use again. This one will do. Easy again, I like battle damage and all that jazz. It's just a case of doing it when I want to. Another big project I'm working on as well. So, funny enough, no, that's not the one I wanted, it's this one. Funny enough, another project I'm working on is going to be Age of Sigmar. Now, something I haven't touched since Age of Sigmar came out. Because I just wasn't a fan of how this game system changed suddenly, and yeah, I abandoned Sigmar and Fantasy years ago. Then GW released the Cruel Boys, and I felt the need to have them. So I started off, I didn't get them when they were originally released, but I was really liking the Cruel Boys. So I picked a warrior setup from the local store, got myself also down to Murfield Miniatures, courtesy of my loving wife, and I got myself the Cool Boy side of the Dominion set. So, and I also have a friend, Thomas Edge, who does some fantastic painting. He has sold me his side of the box for the Cool Boys, so I have quite a lot of Cool Boys now. I know I need to pick up something a bit more different than just the Dominion sets. But it's going to be quite nice to get back into fantasy again, really, I suppose. It's the best way of putting it, just fantasy in general. I haven't done, like I say, fantasy since probably my Orc tribe, and, well, no, there would have been orcs back in the day, orcs and goblins. My ogres, lizardmen, Skaven. Jesus. What else did I have? Orcs, Orcs, lizardmen, night goblins, ogres, Skaven. I feel like there was an extra army in there, but I don't know. No, I never did any of the humans or anything like that. Like, humanoid characters just weren't enjoyable. But yeah, so yeah, it was something I really never wanted to lose on, but I just lost love when it comes to Sigmar. So yeah, I dropped out in Sigmar and never came back really. So what, Sigmar came out many years ago now, and yeah, I've just never gone back. So I don't know whether or not to keep that or yeah. I kind of like it like that actually. So we'll keep it like that. Right, so that is the gun, which would then go there you go, and then so we've got Stormsurge coming along very nicely. Lots to do on the gun. But I have magnetized the gun. You can see it all. I'm getting there, which is great. Right, jump onto the actual main tank. Do a bit of work on this for the last 15 minutes before I cut the stream. So, yeah. It's tough when you're on the live stream. You don't know what to say when there's no one there, because it's kind of weird. It's hard to describe, but like you feel the need to want to talk, but no one's there, so it kind of just defeats the point really of like any of it. That you kind of start talking to people. Good. There we go. One of those things I've never really owned is a good medium brush. I don't ever know why. It's something I really should have invested in years ago and learned to get a good one I like. Panic there, I thought this wasn't the Dawnstone. Let's pull this, there we go. To move the camera because it's a bit more challenging to do this the same angle as I did the sniper drone controller. one thing I've always tried to do with all my armies is, in a way, is not make a fully unique paint method, but each one has its own unique method and technical tricks. These guys were all about me kind of learning how to do block color and edge highlights. This is not something you see in any of my other armies as an edge highlight. When I did my knights, the knights were all about intricacy and challenges of the patterns and learning the tricks of kind of advanced painting techniques, or not techniques as such, but more learning how deep I have gone into the hobby when it comes to technical painting. My Space Marine Flash Terrors, they were an army which was based off speed, so they were done for the Tailor Painter Challenge, and that was more a case of lesser talent, but just a case of seeing if I can push myself to actually get an army done. I did. I now have 3,000 points worth of Blood Angel Flash Terrors. And I love them. I love them to bits. They're great. Then the Drukhari were learning how to utilize technical paints. So they were when contrast paints came out. And also I wanted to try and find a way to make an army faster than ever. Ironically, they aren't faster than any other army I've painted and the same speed as some of the other armies I've painted. But they were more to create, I don't know, like washes and utilizing the washes to highlight, or to not highlight a model, but to essentially reverse highlight, so utilizing the dark space to make the original color become the highlight in itself. So that was a fun project, really. Like I say, they're not done yet, but one day they will be. All right, let's pull this guy off and get him off his base. Just going to what other armies are there? There is the Astra Militarum. Astra Militarum, they were there, quite a fun project actually, because they are to show my tenaciousness to batch paint. So Guard Army being the swarm army that it is, you need to learn how to paint a lot of models. So that was, for me, kind of the challenge, was to find a way to make a rather large metal army easy to paint. So yeah, there you go. Not fully finished, but the project's well deeply into it, and there is not a lot really for it left to go. The tanks are intricately painted and getting there, and the guard themselves fantastic. It's the old Cadian metal models, which are just some of the most beautiful sculpts ever made by GW. They really are. And then you have Never-Ending Story, my Death Guard, which were not exactly a challenge to paint and any techniques, but they were there I don't want to say original army. I have had many armies over the years, but I felt like my Death Guard and my first army, even though they're clearly not, because I've been in the hobby much longer than the new Death Guard models, but they felt like the first army to get me back in the hobby, which is a really nice feeling, really. It's really nice to know that there's an army you picked, which is now providing you with the support for your overall hobby through the years. But yeah, so yeah, it's nice to have that. Tau, Knights, Takari, Infantry Guard, and tanks with them. Tau, Space Marines. I think that's all of them, really. Oh, my greenskins. So my greenskins is actually me learning to do more detail. So if you've ever seen my Instagram account, you'll know that I have a Orc War Boss on there, an Orc War Boss, which is one of my favourite models I've made and painted, and it was a full yellow orc. And he just, the detail I'm trying to put into him is just fantastic. But not least is my Necrons. My Necrons were actually an army that I started at the beginning of the pandemic, if I'm correct. So they are only since 2020. And no, they can't be. No, they aren't. No. They were well before the pandemic. Because I went to a tournament with them. Which obviously proves that they weren't in the pandemic. But they are a pretty new army to me, really. They would actually be my most recent army, I think, bar Madrukari. And they were just amazing to paint. I love them. The challenge there, I set myself, was yellow. A fully yellow army, and paint them smooth and crisp and clear. Again, edge highlights and all the little techniques. And yeah, they are probably one of my favourite armies I've ever painted. Like, I just love the impact they have. They look gawky, but they just work. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, we are on the final minute. I did paint a sniper drone. I painted a sniper drone controller. And we have also painted a bit of a Stormsurge as well. So, yeah, we have actually done some work today. Yeah, there's a lot to go through with the army. Underneath this very desk, my next project, which will be Tau Battlesuits. Brand new in box. I've always wanted these new guys. Just couldn't justify myself to do it, but my commander needs some support, I think, on the battlefield. So, yeah, it is going to be the probably final unit to join the Tau, and then that will be them done for good now, and then that'll then be painted and all ready to go. Well, anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. For anybody who popped by, obviously don't expect anything, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. So I thank everybody for coming, whoever you are. If you came through the night, I just see someone who's joined us at the last minute. So yeah, but thank you, everybody, and I bid you a good night. And now I need to figure out how to end. There we go. This is hard when you cover your phone.